Welcome to the show. We are the many.
Would you kindly put down
whatever it is
you may be
doing,
because you are now listening
to BossMode. And if we got a show for you, but first I'm gonna introduce my host, our host today. I always say my host, like there's nobody else watching this
you
show.
own us.
All right.
Own us, Jared.
First off, we have Valentino Hansen. All right, David Hamback.
you pronounce my last name.
Hamback.
Finally!
And Jared Todd.
Back.
What?
No one's gonna clap for
I
me.
clapped for you. I clapped for you
gonna clap
guys,
for-
and this is
You
okay.
said my
That's
name
fine.
wrong.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Yeah,
what have you guys
clap
been
for me.
doing today? Give us a Deus Ex Mankind Divided report.
Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Ugh. More of the same old, just running around doing all those extra missions before I actually go along with the whole entire mission. It's running smoothly. Like,
all right.
It's running really smoothly.
Now you're
I'm loving it.
stealthing through, right? You
Well,
sneaking on through.
what I'm doing is kind of a attempt to stealth. If it doesn't go well, then go Ramboing the game. But what I am trying to do is I'm trying to go for the be the nice guy ending. So I'm doing that run through, and it's making it real easy for me. Like, I messed up this stupid corrupt cop, and I was like, yeah, get out of here, bad guy, shaking down Oggs. And then, people still talking junk. And it's funny, I think it might be a bug, but there was this one citizen that said some anti-Ogg stuff to me as he smoked his cigarette with his augmented arm. Like,
that's actually hilarious.
like, I'm sorry, buddy.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Well,
But I just still
What?
love how, like, I'm seeing, like, posters of, like, Ogg Lives Matter.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I'm like, I love that, like, little tie-in to the
That's
whole
pretty
world.
cool. So, David,
Yeah.
what have you been doing in the world of gaming, my friend?
I played and beat Fallout again yesterday,
All right.
and I shot my son on sight.
Ooh.
I didn't like
none
him
of that
anyway.
Fatherly love? None of that?
No, none. I don't like him.
He sounded so deadpan when he said it. It's like
Yeah.
he feels the remorse.
I'm also
I shot my son.
I
That's
am
like-
beta testing a new game. It's an App Store game. I'm beta
Ooh.
testing. I'm getting paid money to do it. It is nice.
Nice.
It's a lot of fun.
What is it? Minimum wage?
No, I'm getting paid $125 to do it.
Really?
Yes.
What are you gonna do with the money?
Buy more video games.
Buy more games?
Probably that or pay for my car insurance. One of the two.
Buy more video games would be the correct answer.
Well, I already pre-ordered
You
this
need
on
to
too.
get
There's
your
nothing else.
priorities straight.
There's nothing
Hey,
else like car
why
insurance.
don't you message us on Twitter and tell us, should this guy buy more video games or pay his car insurance?
This is car insurance.
Yeah, you're right. Because if I get hurt or something, no one's gonna be able to pay for it. So, thank you.
Then don't get hurt. Easy fix.
Yeah. And
Fight me.
What I've been
Don't
doing?
fight me.
Because
I bruise easy.
Because you haven't paid your
I wasn't
insurance
on, I
yet.
wasn't on the insurance.
Yeah, you need your insurance. Alright, so what I've been doing in the world of gaming recently, I actually haven't been playing a lot of games. Video games. I've been playing more traditional games recently. I got Eldritch Horror, which is a board game, and it's really fun.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, you play against the game, right? It's cooperative. And it's a really living world. Like, you've got these monsters, and the rules is
Did
pretty
you say
involved.
living world?
I did say living worlds.
Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing.
Minecraft. That's a little foreshadowing here, folks.
And like the rules, like the monsters act in certain ways, and really it creates these coherent stories. It has little snippets of tales that all combine together based on where you are, what you're doing to create one
So this is a
really
board
cool,
game, right?
coherent story, and it really pulls you into the world.
That
And
sounds like
Valentino,
Dungeons and that sounds like
what
Dungeons
other
and
games
Dragons.
do that? Let's talk about some world building. And first off, what is world building?
World building. Now, there's world building as one word or world building. We're going to be talking about
There's
the
no
one word
difference.
without the space here. And for the difference, basically, is Minecraft is kind of should be in both, but Minecraft is a world space building game because it's a game where you are literally creating the world. You affect it. You do all the stuff in there. Kind of like Sim City, and you build it. It has whatever it has. It's what you put there.
Okay.
But for world building, that's actually not just for video games. It's actually for fiction in general. And basically, what you're doing is creating this artificial, fictional world, this imaginary world for your audience to place themselves in, to either place themselves in and live in it, or to live through the characters that you have placed in it. And I think when world building is done right, it creates an unforgettable video gaming experience.
Now that I know what you're talking about, it really does. So tell us, what are some games that do it right?
A game that do it right. Now, they're...
None of them. They're all suck.
Obviously, they're all crap.
Yeah.
But for the ones that are
Generally
less
decent.
crap...
Decent.
Okay.
No, these games are amazing. So,
Nice.
one game that comes to mind for me, and this one is kind of, I'm really kind of reluctant to start with what I consider to be the oddball, but it does it right. Kingdom Hearts series. I love it because I usually don't like games where it's like, where it's easier for me fictionally in world building when it's a persistent world. Games that have like these levels where it's this and then it all of a sudden it's this and then all of a sudden it's this. It's really hard for those games to try to build off a cohesive world. And so I feel that Kingdom Hearts does this fantastically because you start off on your little stupid island, your dumb island, you and your dumb no magic having selves. Then magic, and now you're going to these other worlds and you got some magic, and I guess I'm trying to be spoilers free.
But actually, hit us up on Twitter with that. Let's do some explanations. Just hashtag magic. Explain a game world.
Hashtag magic Mike.
I like that.
Magic. But yeah, but like seriously though. And then Kingdom Hearts is like, as you play the game, your world gets bigger, and each world has its own personality.
So a fantasy No Man's Sky.
No. No Man's Sky.
That's because Kingdom Hearts is way better than No Man's Sky in any all ways. You can kiss my butt, haters.
Anyway, but for Kingdom Hearts, it's like, say you go to the Lion King world. You don't just go to the Lion King world. You literally become a lion, and it changes the way you wield your Keyblade. So now you're not just running and holding it like it's some kind of great sword. Now you're holding the Keyblade as you're running. And it has to do a change for how you fight the enemies.
Wait,
the enemies are now.
As a lion, how do you hold a Keyblade? Change your
hashtag magic.
You hold it in. He holds it in his mouth, and as it sticks out, he uses his neck. He swings.
And that's gotta hurt. What if you actually? What if someone? So say this is him, and this is the person. What if he moves out of the way and he just right into a wall?
Who, the lion?
Yeah, if he's saying you're the sword sticking out of his mouth, what if he's charging to stab someone and move out the way?
It's not sticking out of his mouth. It's like the side. He's looking this way. The blade is across.
He's holding by the hilt and
like that.
I thought you were saying he's holding it like this. I'm like, what?
Somebody hasn't played the awesomeness that is Kingdom Hearts.
I've never played a single Kingdom Hearts game at all.
And it's totally not me as well.
Back to how it built this world. So that's just one aspect. You have the jungle world where you're an animal and it's just animals. And so, you know, that whole thing is different. Then say you go back and you go to like the Halloween town. Now you're a ghoul. You know, you have like your Stitch face and whatnot. And again, enemies are different. How you interact with them are different. And you got, you know, of course, different set of characters with their own personalities. But I call Kingdom Hearts the oddball because it's kind of a cheater in that aspect, and where it's really taken already created worlds and just put them together in one game. And so it kind of gets ahead on that. But I think it does a very good job of establishing like this center world, this normal world, and then you go into the other connected worlds. And I feel like that's a great one. Now, one that's...
For those who have never played Kingdom Hearts, it's a Disney game. So that's the part where he says there's multiple worlds already created.
Oh, yeah.
So just for those who've never played it like me.
I can't see anyone who hasn't, if they haven't played it, they should at least know about it by now.
Well, I know about it, I just don't care to play it.
Another good game that does this is also a cheater would be Metal Gear Solid 5, because it's Afghanistan and Africa, places that already exist, but the characters, this is where the characters and the interactivity of it comes. You know, you don't just like, it's not just like you on a horse running around doing stuff. You can hide in the back of their Jeeps, and they're not just like some random Jeep. These are people, characters that are on patrols, and like you have to manipulate them to get around, and you know, using whatever tactics you can. And it's like you have rain, because that can affect things. Say if it rains, now you're wet, you could be making more noise. Or if there's a sandstorm, oh, now you have more stealth. And it's not just you versus the NPCs, it's you interacting in this world versus those NPCs, and it's done really well in this game.
I just want to say one really cool thing that this creates, this interactivity creates these, like, I mentioned the stories earlier, but it's really cool, like, you know, like when I had to kidnap somebody, right, in Metal Gear Solid 5, there's a sandstorm, so I just imagine, you know, the guy's talking about, like, you know, oh gosh, there was a sandstorm and this guy was just gone, you know? It creates this element of the game that goes beyond the game and creates this story in your mind that, like, you know, if it requires some imagination. And actually, that's really fun. That's a really cool part of it.
And that's a way that video games can, like, explore more avenues to innovate. Because you have, like, your linear games where the world itself you follow a path. But in these type of games, you have to make it so, because at first you're just creating a character that can do things in the world. But now that character can interact to the world. You're a guy who sneaks around and saves the world. That's the simplest it's gonna get.
So
you're sneaking around and saving the world.
So you sneaky breaky, and then you save the cheeky.
Now, I have a game that I actually think does this in a terrible way, and I might get some flack for this, but hear me out. Booty Watch. I mean Overwatch. This game, gameplay-wise, it's fantastic. It has varied characters. That's great. It's a good game, but as for the world, you have to do it does most of the world building outside of the game. Like, you have to look up on YouTube about these characters' past. They have a graphic novel, and that's great and all. But, like, as for the game itself, I won't even say, like, because I'll consider, like, the whole package, I'll consider that the franchise. But as for just Overwatch, the actual game you play, it's just random boards. 1 minute you're in Hollywood or somewhere, guarding some car. The next minute, you're taking some bomb somewhere that, if you pay attention, it explodes at the end of the match. Or you're fighting in some temple. And it's like, you don't know what that means unless you go elsewhere to find it. Like, the game, it has these little Easter eggs that you would have to look for within the space of time before you get into the match. And most of these Easter eggs, I don't see how people actually, in the chaos of the game, would be expected to find these outside of videos telling you that they're there.
There's actually some of those little Easter eggs that actually, as the game updates, you'll get hints to new characters. There's one that's called Sombra, Sombra. That might be coming out in the next update.
I think that one's rumored, but I don't know.
No. There's you can look online. There's lots of things talking about it.
Because I know
at one point they released something. They had released a puzzle on Twitter that once you finished it, there was a number to call, and once you call that number, it was a Mexican person's voice that said, "I am Sombra."
Yeah.
Whatever.
But here's the thing. If they wanted to, but since we're talking world building here, I figured if they were going to do that, that should have been, like, in the game, like that puzzle in the game, or the characters speak to no, there isn't. And the characters speak to each other, and you, like, before the game, like, there's little elements there, but it's like it's very few and far in between, and you have to really still. Even with what they give you in the game, you still have to go outside of it to learn more, like how they talk to her. Like, you know that Tracer and Widowmaker don't like each other, so they'll say something rude together. And I feel like when they want to introduce a new character, an upcoming character, and maybe like in some like shadow update, they could update a voice line where a character may make a reference to the character, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I remember her. She used to shoot those little darts that put you to sleep." Like, they should have did that with the new character. And you know, but because as we're playing the game, we're still being fed information from other sources that we're not even thinking about. And that's what I'm going for here. And I don't think Overwatch does a real good job.
Okay, so you prefer it has to be in the game.
Yeah, it has to be in the game.
I was just going to talk about System Shock 2, what we referenced actually at the very beginning. Before I do that, I want to...
I was going to say, would you say a questionable would be like Skyrim Fallout for world building?
Skyrim is questionable for me because I feel like it does it bare bones. It's bare bones, and I say, but it can be with mods, you know. And I feel like, but that doesn't really count because it's not the developers. But I will give them props for like having it so that you can at least do it, and so that the community kind of builds that world.
See, okay. System Shock 2, I want to get this. We referenced it at the very beginning. System Shock 2, you know, the many, and yeah, and he did that voice perfectly, by the way. He hasn't even heard the many, they call it the grunt, die, and he did that amazing. And he's still doing it really cool, but it's creeping me out.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I like chicken noodle soup.
That's what I'm saying. Now it's sounding less like the many, more like an old man with constipation. But System Shock 2, see, okay, first thing you have to do, if you have System Shock 2 right now, turn the music off. No music.
No.
Because the silence of space. I don't know whose idea it was to add the music.
Silence is golden, but that button that pauses the music is silver. So press that.
But see,
first.
the thing is, it's actually blue. It depends on what you have your UI colored.
Well, no, I'm talking about like computers, because you press the space button.
I see what you're saying. Anyways, okay. So as soon as you turn that music off, you get this silence of space, of this spaceship that used to be alive, used to be active, but it's dead, and it creates this awesome world view. Everyone's quiet, and then you hear the voices of the many, and like they're so horrifying, and they have their roots. They have the things they do. Like, say they come across food or an item, they could pick it up and move it from you. And when they hear something, they'll look for it. They'll be like, you know,
so Space Metal Gear Solid.
Yes, well, yes, but like really scary. I mean, hiding behind a bench and they'll come looking for you, like saying things. You can hear the footsteps crawling up the hall. And what I like about the fact that they're so active and alive and interacting with the world is that yes, it builds that world. It brings it to life, and it is alive. It's not just scripted elements. It's them actually. You know, I mean, technically it's scripted because it's code, but it is them actually interacting with the world in an improvisational way. And that's really cool. And as I said, the footsteps, the sound design's amazing, but it goes like techno music at some point. It's like, what? Like,
what
this
about
doesn't
Silent
fit at
Hill?
all.
Would Silent Hill be a good world building game?
I say no.
Because you get a lot of.
I say it's atmosphere.
It's very atmospheric, but you get a lot of you get a lot of story as you play the games.
Well,
it's kind of like Kingdom Hearts.
I mean, that one's kind of.
It's like questionable.
I'll say why. I'll go for it, and you can tell me why not. I would say yes because like those story elements are in the game, and that like you find more and more about what's going on as you play the game, and you know you get mysteries get solved, and it doesn't just leave you hanging. So in that sense, yeah, you feel like okay, this is a real world and things are going on, and I'm not just passing by.
I see that. Okay, I see what you're saying, but when I think of world building, let me actually show you my last example. Stalker called Pripyat is it's atmosphere, but B, when Stalker opens, it opens another program in the background called A-Life, and it is literally simulating where everybody's going, what everybody's doing, what quests they're on. They can literally complete your quests because each character, each person in that world has something that they're doing, and independent of you. Literally, the game just dumps you in an active, living world.
The world breathes, eats, and sleeps without
whether or not you're gonna affect the world, it will keep going. And I think that's really cool because it gives this influence. Okay, it gives you this a real feeling of influence when you do start completing quests, when you do some really cool things. And I think that's all the actually time we have for today. I think I want to keep talking a little bit about world building for the next episode.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to do that?
Yeah.
We'll continue it eventually. Because this has been a really cool
Who
discussion.
did it better? World building.
Actually, exactly. Tell us, who does it better out of the games you mentioned? Bring up some new games that you think that you like. Hit us up on Twitter. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, game responsibly. We are